It is with great sadness that it has come to our attention that the author and creator of My Gentle Giant, EAB, Emmy to her friends, has passed away. And that is just an incredible loss to the writing and webtoon community. And we were so, so, so sad to hear it. We're very grateful that we got an opportunity to explore her work before this tragic loss. And we would like to encourage everyone to continue to follow the artist, Miss Dark, and Loveaboy Comics on Twitter for further announcements as they are going to try and work together to continue the story for My Gentle Giant to a logical and hopefully loving conclusion in honor of Emmy's life and work and effort in this field. So
absolutely. She brought us something that brought us so much joy and brought so many people so much joy. She told a story that people needed to have, and she will be missed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What an absolute tragedy. It's such a loss to everyone, especially to all of her friends and family. And we send our love and regards to everyone who is affected by this loss.
Welcome to Thirsty on Toon, where we drink wine and read webtoons.
Hi, I'm your co-host Bronwyn, your webtoon obsessive, dopamine addicted, idiots in love, and slow burn sommelier.
And I'm your co-host Chris, webtoons acolyte, enemies to lovers lover, and bantercore aficionado.
So pull up a page, pour yourself a drink, and let's dive in.
You're thirsty on Maine, we're thirsty on Toon. Thirsty on Toon, thirsty on, thirsty on Toon.
Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. It's a beautiful day.
That it is. Nice and fallish. Just apropos.
It is. Are you drinking anything thirsty today?
I am. I've got something beautiful and orange and ready to go for the day. How about yourself?
I have a pumpkin spice hot chocolate in honor of our story today.
I like it.
We are recording in the middle of the afternoon, so it felt a little early for our regular thirsty drinking.
A little bit, yes.
A little bit.
I know. I could put a little wine in there, but then it wouldn't be orange, and also I'm old.
I was tempted to go to the store and get pumpkin ale today, but I got lazy and did hot chocolate instead.
I mean, I feel like that's a good choice, but
I think so.
So I know we've been teasing Hot Pumpkin Daddy for a little while, but do you want to give us the blurb on what this is actually called?
Yes. Obviously, this is called Hot Pumpkin Daddy, but the official creators named it Third Shift Society.
Mostly to comply with webtoons, I'm sure.
Yes, I think so. Because we know the real title. We know the truth. So Third Shift Society summary is: life's funny. 1 minute you're jobless, deep in debt, and on the verge of eviction. The next you're in a fight with a monster and getting a job working for a paranormal detective with the head of a jack-o'-lantern. It's an age-old story. Now the financially challenged Ellie, who's just discovered she's a strong psychic, and her pumpkin-headed boss Ichabod have to team up to fight the things that go bump in the night. By creator Meredith Moriarty.
Nice. I mean, it's an age-old story. It happens to all of us, right?
Like once a week.
At least.
You always remember your first encounter with Hot Pumpkin Daddy.
I mean, it's true.
I think at this point, Hot Pumpkin Daddy has become an inside joke in our friendship that we reference him at all times whenever possible.
It is true. Yes, it is. This is a powerful story.
It is powerful. It's effective.
So for genre, if we're going to talk genre style, I mean, obviously this is a supernatural thing, but for me, this is clearly a supernatural thirst trap.
Yes.
Like, how am I pumpkin sexual now?
So we all became pumpkin sexual that day. For me, I will clarify this as comedic paranormal banter core.
Yes. Okay. I like it. Very specific and very accurate.
Thank you. I don't know if anyone's used the word banter core before, but I feel like we need to make it happen.
I think it has happened. I think that just happened. Oh God. How do we pick a favorite though? How do we pick a favorite character here?
I don't know. I think I've written down everyone that's had more than 2 lines as
Me too. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm glad.
I mean, obviously Hot Pumpkin Daddy. Obviously.
Hot Pumpkin Daddy. Like Ichabod is our king.
I mean, total king energy here. Like, oh my God. But also like hot psychic mess with fire hands.
Yes.
Like,
we love
thank you,
her.
Ellie. Thank
Ellie
you.
is our queen. I also love Vampire Simon.
Oh my God. Adorable vampire doc.
Yes. You and I spend a lot of time talking about Shadowhunter. So when the vampire was named Simon, I was like, wait a minute. I know what
Right.
you did.
Right? I see you. I
I
see you.
I see you and I know what happened. I also love the hot librarian, Catherine.
Right? And Mysterious X, like Pumpkin X.
yes.
Ooh.
Mysterious
With some witchy
X.
vibes. I like it. Also, a demon of dubious demeanor. Like, I love this demon.
Oh yes, Oberon. And when they reveal that his name is just stolen from Shakespeare, that's not his real name, I was like, oh, what a pretentious douche, but I love him.
Oberon and Titania. That was
Oh.
amazing.
Yeah, yes. At first, I was kind of like, well, it's a little silly that that's their names until I realized they named themselves. And then I was like, yes.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
did
Exactly.
this.
They chose this.
Oh, I love everyone in this
Oh
story.
my God, legit. It's so good.
Yeah, very recently they introduced a ghost as well. I'm just like, I love everybody.
Right? I know. Also, Bugman.
Bugman.
How do you not love Bugman?
Bugman had such Young Justice vibes. Have you watched Young Justice?
No, but I feel like I know what you're talking about from Steve. So
Okay. Yes, Red Beetle, the character in the second season, or maybe the third season. I don't know. Anyway, the newish character to Young Justice looked exactly like that. It had about the same personality, and I was like, I love him.
seriously, so sweet.
Sweet Bugman.
I love Sweet Bugman. So cute. Oh, but speaking of Sweet Bugman, that leads right into favorite ships for me.
Yes. So Sweet Bugman and his fiance is a favorite ship.
Mercedes. Yes, I love them so much. They're so cute.
Yeah, they're really cute.
This
They
is how
have
Kafka
this-
should have ended.
Yes. Just fall in love with the bug that you have in your life.
Exactly.
The energy, I feel like, so this will tie into our themes here in a moment, because this is on the surface a straighter story than usually we would pick.
Yes.
However, somehow brimming with queer energy.
There's so much found family here. So much.
There's so much found family. And there's also just something about the narrative of, so the story is the guy has fairy blood. So he's like a changeling, right? So he manifests it during a time of stress, which was getting married, and becomes a bug. And the whole story is him feeling like she won't accept him. And then she is like, it will be a lot to navigate, but I love you and we'll navigate it. And in my brain, I was like, this is realizing you're bisexual, like,
I mean, this is literally him being trans. Like,
yes. Either what, some kind of a queer narrative, right? Like,
you know?
I have realized something about myself right as we were about to embark on our life together, and she is just like, I love you, so let's navigate together. I was like, queer. This is queer.
I am rolling with this because I love you. You're my partner. So
Yes. And while we were talking about queer energy, Ichabod, Hot Pumpkin Daddy,
right.
the most radiating of bisexual energy of any character I've ever read.
Oh my God. I mean, this is not even like Jack Harkness all over this,
Yes.
right? Like,
yes, Jack-o'-lantern Harkness. I think you mean.
yes, Jack-o'-lantern Harkness right here.
I'll see myself out. It's fine.
Don't you dare. I walked into that, like, quite literally, you know?
Yes, you really did.
You do it to yourself, you do. And that's what really hurts.
Yes, correct.
But seriously, Hot Pumpkin Daddy, I ship him with everyone. Obviously,
Yes.
Ellie, obviously.
Yes.
But like, I ship him with Simon. I ship
Yes.
him with X. I ship him with Hot Librarian. I ship him with everybody. Like,
Yes.
this could be a very, like, I literally wrote down, maybe I just want the polycule.
Yes. A giant pumpkin polycule. That's all I want.
Giant pumpkin polycule.
That's all I want. It makes sense that like so him and Ellie obviously have this like magnetic energy, and they are like the definition of two bisexuals in love. Like I can't explain it, but it's true. It's just that's just the energy they give. So theirs is like this instant chemistry, but the chemistry he has with Simon, like I'm in full agreement. Simon worries about him and wants to take care of him, and it's
right.
Like it's very soft and sweet. Where his energy with Ellie is fiery, no pun intended.
And yet it's there.
And yet it's there, and yet the pun is there. And then his energy with Maris, the witchy lady, is also just so, I don't know, like toxic seems a little harsh, but not
no, exactly. But it's definitely like fuck buddy energy, you know, like it's definitely sexual in nature. Like
it's definitely sexual in nature, which we understand because we have seen Pumpkin Daddy.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, that man wears a vest.
He wears a vest.
He wears it.
Basically, the first time we see him, he's like leaning forward with his vest and his sleeves rolled up and his hand out to her. And it's just this like, it's a transcendent moment.
It is. It is. And I mean, like, this is, he's just, you know, he's fighting a hell beast and he's got a thigh holster and it's like, he's wearing a suit with a thigh holster. I mean, like, just, yeah. I mean,
he is everything. In the gloves, I don't know what it is.
But the gloves, what the hell?
Somebody pointed out that the female gaze is hands. And I was like, you're right. Because they did like a whole clip video on TikTok of how the female gaze is hands and just showed hands in gloves. And I was like, why is that true?
I don't know, but it is.
It is. It's extraordinarily true.
It's extremely true.
It is extremely true. Oh, Pumpkin Daddy.
Oh my God. I don't know how I became pumpkin sexual the instant I started reading this, but I did. I just did. This is the power of art, folks.
Art can really transcend.
Okay, so this is why, despite being very straight passing, this story is actually queer, because it makes everybody queer.
Yes. You become more queer by reading it. Like
1,000%. It's true. So, you know, spoiler alert.
Yeah. So, you know, approach with caution, but also dive in. You're going to be having a time.
You're going to enjoy it. I
just
promise.
know you might have a few identity crises along the way.
But that's okay. Join us.
That's okay. Lean into that feeling.
It's good. It's good. It's growth.
Yes.
So I guess that's themes.
That's a theme. So yeah, we're jumping into themes.
So I mean, like, obviously on top of, you know, the queerness of it all.
Yes.
Othering and loneliness is something that is deeply explored here, I feel like, you know, and I think that is part of the queer narrative, you know?
It really is. I feel like everything they encounter is in some way about, because they are paranormal investigators. So ostensibly they're on kind of Scooby-Doo-esque adventures all the time, but each one of them is either about marginalization or identity discovery. Because we have the first one being the woman who was haunting the place because she had been harmed by men, basically. And so she remained in the house haunting it as the memory of that abuse. And then the second one was Bugman, our bug daddy.
Exactly.
You know, and finding his identity and acceptance. And then our third case is the ghost who doesn't know who he is and has no memories. And there's just like identity and marginalization through all the stories.
Yeah, I love that. I love that they're also in this is there's sort of like a two-part structure to the storytelling here. Yeah. You know, in the kind of monster of the week storytelling where you get that queer narrative, but also in the overarching kind of story that joins them where it's that self-discovery, right? It's the who are we as investigators and how is our relationship developing and things like that. So I do enjoy that.
Me too. It's interesting because it doesn't feel very monster of the week somehow, even though like it actually took me a while to realize it was. As I look back writing notes, I was like, oh yeah, because it feels very like the through line is so strong and prevalent that it feels like one story.
Absolutely.
Not to be the pretentious, it's like a 5-hour novel. No, but like, you know what I mean though? Like it's just I think sometimes, you know, like Supernatural is very episodic a lot of the time where it's like, fight a monster, episode over. There is a through line, but it feels very disjointed. This story, just one episode flows into the next one so seamlessly.
Very much, very much. And that's quite a testament to the writing, I think. I mean, obviously there's a huge testament to the art here. with the
Yeah, there is.
instantaneous attraction. But there is a huge testament to the writing here with the seamlessness of the way the story elements blend together.
Yes.
Which I think is really cool.
Yes, I agree.
But the acceptance, the found family, the trust and building of relationships, all of this is such an integral part to me of how this story is told.
I agree. I feel like with a partnership story, there's always a how do we learn to trust each other and not make our own decisions, saying, I really like how this one is done. And they have that conversation where they're fighting gremlins, and she had done something on her own and didn't tell him, and then got embarrassed about it, and then didn't want to tell him even though it was dangerous, and he was like, I don't know. I thought it was surprisingly non-toxic version of that, because it wasn't like he wasn't mad at her in that traditional way. He just was so worried, and then he accepted her immediately and hugged her, and it was so sweet.
I know, it was amazing. And it just, the way that they get to build that trust is just, it's lovely. And you're right, non-toxic is a real theme here.
Yes.
I love that. It's so nice to have access to stories that can develop, and I don't want to say familiar stories. I don't want to say this is a tropey or anything like that, because I don't feel like it is. Obviously there are familiar elements, and storytelling styles can be very familiar, but what I mean is I read a ton.
Yes, exactly.
And then so obviously there are things that are similar from story to story occasionally, but a lot of that you get some toxicity. You get, because there are these established ways of telling certain elements of stories. And it's really, really, really nice to have access to authors and artists and storytelling platforms that allow for new ways and non-toxic ways to tell familiar stories.
Yeah, I agree. And I think you're right. It's not tropey. It is solidly in the genre in a pleasant way.
Thank you.
Right?
That sums it up perfectly.
The trappings of paranormal investigation are all here, but it doesn't feel like, yes, I've seen this before. It doesn't feel that way. It is a new story that embraces the genre.
Yes. Thank you. That's exactly what I was trying to portray.
We finish each other's sandwiches.
This is so true. We do.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I love it.
The other theme, which also feeds into that this story is gay, is all of the problems are solved with community. Nothing, there is none of this lone wolf out there, though I think that was Ichabod before her to some degree, but even still not totally, because he had this network in place before she came into his life. But every problem, they're like, okay, let's go to Catherine, the librarian who does our research, and let's go to Simon, our vampire doctor, and let's talk to Meredith. There's all of this, we don't solve things on our own, we work together. In the very last story, especially, where he calls everybody in, because this one feels very personal to him. So he brings in his whole community to solve it, and it's so positive, and I love it.
And I love that we even get to see the community members around them that are ostensibly secondary and tertiary even characters, and they go kind of around him to bring each other in.
Yes.
And to sort of, when they're worried about Ichabod, they're like, okay, so how bad is it this time? Or, oh, I think we should talk to each other about this because he's going to need some support, And
exactly.
I love that.
Me do too. It's so positive. I love it.
I know, it's so nice to see characters have that level of community, because community is so critical. It really is, regardless of the size of community you have around you, it's so critical to have that support,
exactly.
Whether you're fighting the supernatural with your hot pumpkin daddy or just making it through the day.
Yes. In either of those relatable situations.
Exactly.
Should we dive into story specifics?
I think we should.
All right.
Oh my God. Seriously, and I can't get past this enough. Dear God, how is it that a pumpkin head looks that good?
I do not understand, but it is 90% how he looks in a vest.
That's true. And those gloves are the other 10.
The other 10 are gloves, because at one point he's either not wearing the vest or he's wearing something over the vest, and I was like, no, take it off. It's like a jacket or something at one point.
It's
and
true.
I was like,
no,
take
don't
that,
do that.
take it back off.
Oh my God, so funny. It's so true. That is the power of a dapper vest. What?
It is such a dapper gentleman.
He is. He's a dapper dude. Oh my God.
There was a lot going on with Ichabod. And I mean, some of that we'll talk about in our predictions because I want to know what's up. And we really don't have much of it at this point. But he's got a tragic backstory waiting to be revealed. I don't know what it is.
Nope.
But it's there.
He does how? Okay, again. So I don't mean to harp on this Pumpkinhead, but
truly.
There's something incredible about this artist that they can convey so much intense emotion, and there's panels here where you can see that tragic backstory just waiting to happen. There's one panel or whatever where you see him and it's top down and it's just a bit of an angle and he's looking and somehow he looks deeply sad and contemplative and he's thinking about something that's happened in his past. How? Right. A pumpkin face that doesn't change.
Yes, I don't know if we've made it clear enough, but he has a proper pumpkin for a head. It's not like a pumpkin-esque head. It is a pumpkin.
His face is the same
all the time, and yet is expressive. And I don't how? Completely unclear. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to scoop out, if you will.
Okay, that was almost literally a spit take, just FYI.
I think the first scene that I really wanted to talk about was when Ellie goes to Penhurst Manor. And quote, the notes that I wrote when reading it was, Ellie breaks every rule known to womankind.
Right?
We talk about this a lot where I'll be watching something and I'll be like, that character did that because that character is a man and a woman would never. And then I read this about Ellie and I was like, well, maybe this one woman.
Yeah. Okay, honey, what?
She meets a stranger, goes to a third location with said stranger in the middle of the night, didn't tell anybody, and decides to handle the case alone. Ugh.
And it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's not even a public third location.
Yes, I grant you, obviously she was somewhat concerned about the supernatural element, but I was like, what if he wants to murder you?
You were so murderlated. You were so murderlated.
I know you have psychic fire abilities, but you are not invincible, Ellie. You can die.
I'm sorry, but we've gone from supernatural right into every other CSI.
Right.
I did for this scene though, I did want to comment on the fact that I just adored the fact that this strange man that she goes to meet and everything turns out to have been lying to her and have set her up, and the whole nine was a bad dude, and he still paid her and gave her a tip.
I like a villain that sticks with their bargain.
Right.
Yeah, so this is Oberon that we mentioned before. This is our first introduction of him as this hapless nerd, basically. And then surprise, not hapless, maybe still a nerd. He named himself Oberon, so he's still a nerd.
Nerd vibes. He's definitely got nerd energy.
He's got hard nerd energy. But turns out is a demon. Kind of a agent of chaos, we learn later as we discover he is not the brains
Loki
of the
variant.
He is. This is our thing. He is our Loki variant of the episode.
Yeah. There's going to be one every episode. I guarantee
every episode. We're going to find him. It's Oberon in this one. Oh, it's so good though. I was dying. I was like, oh, Ellie, I get it. You're annoyed that Ichabod did something without explaining it to you. Understandable. Yes. But, Queen.
Seriously. Oh, honey, just no. This is so no on so many levels. Oh God, someone take her to a self-defense course.
Please. Please. I'm sure Ichabod could teach her. He knows how to fight.
Exactly.
But he was off having mysterious backstory time, I think, is what we're supposed to take from that, because we still have not found out what he was doing.
No, it's true.
He went to do a thing.
Exactly. That he did not explain. So,
Ellie has her own Loki energy, if we're being honest. It was I'm being ignored, so I'm going to cause trouble.
And I know her Loki energy is very puppy/cat.
Yes.
Oh, you're not paying attention to me? Let me knock this glass off the shelf.
Right. I think she was a little bit trying to prove herself, but a little bit just pay attention.
I am going to fuck shit up until you look at me.
Right. You have been gone for exactly 5 minutes and I have already destroyed the house.
This is on you.
Yes. I feel like you should have seen it coming, Ichabod. Oh, Ellie.
Oh, I do love her.
I do love her too.
Oh my God. I one of the things that I do love in this, it's not like a specific story specific, but I do love it is the repartee, like the way this is written, the
banter core.
Banter core. I love that. I love it. It's so good.
Yes. Banter is my favorite tag on AO3. So this was here for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, their dialogue is great.
And it manages to make me feel like this story is building to something huge. Like huge.
Yes.
And I don't know what it is, but it feels huge.
Yes, I agree. We've got the dream world stuff that we haven't really mentioned yet.
Right.
So we have Alice, who looks like she's from Alice in Wonderland kind of
but
thing.
Like super creepy.
It's super creepy. She shows a vision of a monster and it's got that face that, you know, the phobia of like repetitive holes. Why did that sound dirty?
Because it came out of your mouth.
Some people have like that phobia of those flowers that have all the repetitive holes in a row. Mm-hmm. God, it's not going to sound better no matter how many ways I say it. Anyway, there's a monster whose head is basically that flower. It was so gross. I couldn't look directly at it. God, it was so bad. But it's like a thing. And that's all Ellie knows is it's a thing that she is maybe partially responsible for potentially getting free.
So that is one of the things though that I find very entertaining about this story is that she just takes absolutely everything at face value.
Yeah, that's true.
She believes everything without questioning. And that I think leads to the whole, like, she went off into this, you know, strange area, this third location with this man she'd never met, because she legitimately believes everything she is told the first time with no questions asked. Like, well, not no questions asked, but like,
no, but you're right. There is a weird inversion of the Mulder Scully going on, because, you know, in X-Files, Mulder's deal is that he believes in everything and he's the expert, and then Scully doesn't know any of the stuff and she doesn't believe any of it. Yeah. But in this, Ichabod is the expert, but he is so skeptical. Like he has to, you have to prove to him that it's really a ghost before he's like, okay, it's a ghost. But he's the one that knows all this shit. And then Ellie does not know anything coming into this. She had no idea she was psychic or whatever, but she's just like, I want to believe, you know?
And so like Alice comes in and is just like, you found this thing, it destroyed this part of my barrier spell that I had in place. So now all of these monsters and are going to be attacking, and you know, this is your fault. And Ellie's like, oh, my bad. Not what are you even talking about? I have no idea who you are. Why is this happening?
Yeah. Exactly. It gives me the feeling that there's more to Ellie than we know yet, or that she knows yet. But I feel like there's just more there. You know, like I don't know what it is exactly, but but it really lends itself to this concept that there's something huge coming. Yes. Which is very exciting. The monster with many holes in its face. Like, tell you, it's coming. I know, it was right out of Death Vigil or something. Like, it was really cool. It was really cool. All of the monster, we'll get there when we talk about art, but all of the monsters are incredible looking. Like, they are stunning. I mean, I think everything about this story is stunning. Like, the art in this is so beautiful. I really enjoy it. It's very aesthetic. I don't know, like, it's very smooth, it's very clean, it's very colorful, it is just approachable. I don't know, it really is. It really is. So we have talked a little bit about what we think is coming next, but what, like, predictions? Yeah, predictions. What do you think? I really am curious. In the last story that we read, there is the ghost who doesn't remember who he is. Mm-hmm. And Simon makes this kind of vague, ominous statement to Ichabod, like, you relate to him a lot. Right. And Ichabod, whenever asked about things from the past, has been very shifty up till now. And I thought he was hiding it. But my prediction is that he doesn't remember. I think he doesn't know. I think that's a good prediction. That's curious. Mm-hmm. Yes. For me, okay, you know how much I read and you know how good I am usually at having some prediction. They aren't all like, it's not like 100% rate or anything like that, but I have some predictions, but I'm struggling with this. No, me too. It feels unexpected all the time.
Yeah. Like I have some generals, you know, like there's obviously going to be some sort of showdown with Alice. You know, we're going to have a demon D-Day, you know, with an unexpected twist of some kind. More Monster of the Week stuff, I hope at least, and some character info on Hot Pumpkin Daddy, you know?
I think Ellie has got something going on.
100%. Exactly.
My guess at the moment, but this is literally with no evidence and probably is wrong, is that she is also a changeling. But I don't know.
Curious. Yes. Well, so I'm thinking either, I didn't really think about changeling, but I'm on board for that. Or like there's some sort of spell at work.
Right.
Because I think it ties back to the fact that at the beginning when they are first introduced and Ichabod is like, oh, I thought I knew all the psychics, but I've never, I don't know you. I haven't met you. Like what has been sort of blocking her power up until now?
Right. Yeah. So either it's that something's been blocking her power, or my theory is that she isn't a psychic, but she's something else.
Yes.
So I don't know changeling or what, but I was thinking her power manifested when she couldn't get a job.
Yeah, when she was stressed out.
Right.
Stressed out.
The one thing we know about changelings is that they manifest under stress. Mm-hmm. And I was like, maybe she's something we don't even know about yet. So
right? Who knows? But it's gonna be something big. But yeah, big. Like other than these like super generalities, I don't know. No, I don't know. And I love that. It's so
I can't believe I can't even guess anything about Ichabod's past. Like I have no clues. Zero, head empty. Like I'm excited. Every day is better.
Every time that it pops up with a, Hot Pumpkin Daddy has updated, I'm like,
yes. Do you periodically forget its real title and be like, what is that? Oh,
yeah.
I have maybe started to do that. We've called it Hot Pumpkin Daddy for so long.
Oh, so guilty.
I love it.
So true. Oh my God.
Should we talk favorite quotes? Because I have like a page of them.
Yeah. Ditto. Like legitimately a full page.
I started writing above and below it because I didn't give myself enough room.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so yeah, I definitely have a few. Like, watch your step now. The ivy is going through a grabby phase.
Love that. I love that. All of the lines like that, the casual magic in the story is so fun.
It made me so happy.
Too. I even like they're sitting in the car when they first meet, and she just goes, "Is your head really a pumpkin?" And he goes, "Seriously? You're leading with that?"
I literally have that one written down. That's what you're leading with?
Yes.
Also, does your head come off? Not to my knowledge.
The greatest. It's so good.
Oh my God. Or even just Ellie talking to herself. Let me see your war face. Close enough.
They're seeing when they make up after they have their very brief argument, and he's hugging her in the like house that is haunted by gremlins, and she's just like, I'm getting your shirt all gunky, and he goes, if that's the worst that happens tonight, I'll consider it a resounding success.
And turns out was not the worst that happened that night.
Yes. And then later in the same scene, she goes, I'm gonna ugly cry on so many imps.
The banter core. It's the banter core. Like he's carrying her in through the bar, and she's like, does that guy have horns? Don't worry about it.
We don't talk about it.
It's fine.
In case you're wondering, does it get romantic? It does. It very much does. Because my other favorite quote is, hey, Ichabod, I don't know how this will end, but I want you to know I will trust you. just burst into tears.
I can't. Oh my God. Squeeze.
It's so good. This is, of course, when they grab hands and jump through a window with an explosion happening behind them into the water.
Right. But over top of a bunch of pointy rocks, at which point Ichabod uses some psychic blast power to push them away so that they land safely.
Yes. It's so good.
So exciting.
So good.
Yay, Hot Pumpkin Daddy.
Yay, Hot Pumpkin Daddy. All hail.
All hail, Hot Pumpkin Daddy.
Oh, we haven't done art yet.
Oh no, that's true. We have. Well, we touched on.
We did. We talked about it a lot, but we have more to talk about.
It's true. It's true.
The art, I love the way it glows. Like it seems to radiate.
Yes. You know, it reminds me of Wayne Family Adventures in
It
the
does.
best possible way. Like it's very sleek, it's very clean.
Yes.
Super professional, you know, like I don't know why. Obviously it's professional. It's
no, but I know what you mean. Like it's the highest quality. It's when you see it, you're like, yes, that is incredible art.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
It just, it shines. It's got that extra level of shine.
And it has so much attention to like detail in the outfits, which I love. Because a lot of times in comics, they'll get into the cartoon area where everybody has the same clothes on all the time or similar clothes on all the time. And while Ichabod most often does, and let's be honest, we don't want that to ever change.
No.
There is everyone else changes clothes, like they're different outfits and they're very cute. Like Ellie's always wearing these combos of like leggings and skirts and different like tops that are so cute.
I want her wardrobe.
I do too.
I would wear the hell out of that.
I do too. Okay, here's my one exception. The one time I will let Ichabod change into anything else, I will throw this out. If he wore a Regency era suit, I would die.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Just Darcy this Ichabod.
We could give him a cape.
Oh my God, a cape.
Is it wrong that I have Edna Mode in my head right now going, no capes?
Okay, but Edna, did you consider how hot Pumpkin Daddy is?
Right? He doesn't fly. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's decorative. Exactly.
I feel like Edna would be on our side in this one. I think one time.
She would understand.
Swoon.
In hot Pumpkin Daddy, we all trust.
Indeed.
I will say the other thing that I forgot to mention this earlier. The other thing I thought while reading this is how incredible would a point and click mystery game be set in the Third Shift Society world?
Oh my God, I would play the F out of that.
Right? Imagine you get to be Ellie and you get to like select what she answers with. And then you're like solving the like clues. You get to talk to like Simon and Ichabod and all of them. Oh my God. Like
but it definitely has to have like a deep romantic side plot.
Yes, like a Telltale game, like one of those, but Third Shift Society.
Yeah. Yes. If it doesn't end in a polycule though, I'm gonna be upset.
I feel like that should be like the goal, like the option that you're trying to get to is if you do it right, you get to a polycule. Yes. And if you don't get to the polycule, you know you didn't get the good ending.
Exactly.
I went wrong somewhere.
That's how you platinum the game.
Yes. Everybody tries for the polycule ending.
TM.
Love it. Give it to us.
Yes, please.
Oh my God. So what will we be swooning over next time, Bronwyn?
Oh, well, we're definitely going to have to read about some little gamer boys because I love them so much. And
speaking of gamers.
Exactly. So the story title will be Zocker.
Zocker!
Woo! Zocker! And this recommendation actually came my way through TJ.
Yay! My co-host at Gotham Outsiders.
Exactly. So
thanks,
TJ.
Thanks, TJ. I'm very excited to talk about some nerds.
Oh, yes. Yes. Deep nerd energy.
And until next time, hail the Pumpkin Daddy.
All hail.
All hail. And where can our listeners find you, Bronwyn?
You can find me on all the things at Shiny Baby Bee. I mostly live on Twitter, where I usually am tweeting about what I'm reading, because I'm always reading.
And you can find me on Twitter at The Myth of Psyche, where I tweet about feminism, psychology, and also what I am reading.
And you can find me also on Gotham Outsiders, a podcast talking about queerness and feminism in the Bat family with my co-host, TJ.
And you should also be checking out our parent podcast at Talking Comics on Twitter, or you can email them at podcast@talkingcomicbooks.com.
And if you want to uncork more webcomics goodness from our show, you can check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Thirsty on Tune,
where we should be reading, drinking, and being nerdy.